Originally, when I started the company, our first 15 years, I would show up at a customer's home, and quite often at the end of the sales call, they would want to hire us, but I would say to them, I need a drawing. And they would say, well, where should we go for a drawing? And I would recommend an architect typically. And so let's say the architect's name is Fred Flintstone. So I would send them to Fred Flintstone, and they would tell Fred, here's my budget range, here's what I want to do, whole scope of work. Fred would produce a proposal, and then Fred would get going. Fred's a great architect, and he has the vision. The one thing that typically Fred is not great at, though, is cost estimation. So, Fred is designing the project, and it looks wonderful. And at the end of the design process, Fred calls me and says, John, please come and estimate this project. And I go and I estimate the project, and sometimes it might be twice the budget. So at that point, the homeowners say to me, what should we do? And I would say, well, why don't you talk to Fred? So our conversion rate at that point was somewhere between 20 and 25% of sales calls would convert into a project, because a lot of time would elapse. Customers, if they had to go through that experience where the design missed the budget. So what we do today is, during our first meeting, I assess the project. We've had budget conversations where we've discussed budget, and I give input into where I think the project might be. At that point, if the homeowners want to proceed with us, we jump directly into the design process. We call it the pre-construction service agreement process. So it's design, spec, and estimate. What that means is, as we're designing, we're also developing the specifications for the project, and we're estimating at the same time. So if our homeowners make a selection that doesn't have parity with what we have called out for the budget, we warn them during our weekly progress meetings.